about innovation and your ability to create or do well or be an entrepreneur even in the place that you work. I'm talking about the kind of creativity that has dividends, that actually goes somewhere, makes a difference, improves a broken system. There are parts in your brain that actually will help you to achieve the kind of innovation that you thought not possible for you and watch in so many successful people. One, for example, is the chemicals that you keep alive in your brain during the day. You have choices. The chemical serotonin is your chemical for well-being. It's the chemical that allows you to take risks, to think creatively, to grow and learn from others, to be curious, and to come to a table with openness and also with the kind of confidence that gives ideas from your corner of the world. The opposite of this chemical is cortisol. That is the hormone that's operational when you're venting, when you're complaining, when you're discouraged or sad or down on yourself. And the way to raise these levels is to simply act as if the serotonin is alive in you even when it's not. Because the brain takes its cue from the actions you do and actually rewires and reboots itself and reconnects its dendrite brain cells according to the things that you did in any given day. For example, you have something in your brain called mirror neurons. So if you allow yourself to be around very positive, innovative, creative people, those mirror neurons, almost by a process of osmosis, will simply allow you to become more like that person, will allow you to begin to act and innovate in many of the same ways that you see in that person. So that is not a stretch for you to have to build a bridge to learn from another person as much as to be around and engage and enjoy that person that you most admire innovatively. Another thing that you might want to consider in your brain is the habits you do and redo and the ruts you get into. Make small change today. Use more of your working memory, that very small part of your brain that allows you to learn something new regardless of your age, to do something different regardless of how many times you did it the same way, and to step outside of whatever boundaries have kept you in one way of doing pretty much anything. Start reading the paper from the back end. Drive to work a different way. Wear a color that you've not considered wearing for many years. Do things differently. Mix it up, as the young people would say, and your brain will simply do the rest. The opposite of the working memory in your brain is called a basal ganglia, and that is your place for rest. That's the place where you remember what to put on in the morning, you remember that you have to drive to work and not walk, you remember that you should have your breakfast before you go or not if you don't choose to eat in the morning. It's the place of habits and ruts. And so you want to stay away from too much operation in the basal ganglia or drawing from the basal ganglia and begin to develop habits even for entrepreneurship or invention or novelty, which by the way is good for memory because the brain responds positively to novelty. So if you have been too tenured in your ways of thinking and too quick with opinions for the old, it might be time for you to step into a new place that allows the plasticity in your brain, regardless of your age, your career, your background, or your training, to grow simply based on being around somebody who is entrepreneurial, takes risks, who has new ideas, and begin to put some of your ideas on the table. Collaborate with that person and see what entrepreneurship you can begin by the end of a week. That's how to get entrepreneurship started in the human brain.